Welcome back to Junker Jam Live. Thank you. Thank you. Now, with so much divisiveness and political incivility going on in our country right now, which is nothing new, but certainly gone rampant lately, it has become maybe too much of an unforgiving atmosphere to consider getting to know a perfect stranger, let alone hearing and understanding another side of a story. And since the advent of smarter technology, it's also become increasingly difficult to have a mutual conversation with an actual human being. My fingers have actually gone lifeless from trying to have Facebook conversations with my mother, and she's right in the next room, ignoring all of my event invites. That's why that chair is empty. But you know what they say, if you can't beat them, join them to their phones with super glue. So rather than be disappointed from the lack of proper communication from my family and friends, for this segment, I decided to sit down for a little 20 questions and answers with my new smart and technologically advanced friend instead. His name is Alexo, and he's Alexa's illegitimate half-brother. And together, we bring to you Pub Chat. Enjoy.
Let's begin. First question.
Okay.
Any drugs?
Sure, I'll take some. You have?
No, you moron. Do you do drugs?
Maybe a little pot here and there. I did try cocaine once. Yeah, put me right to sleep. In order for me to get back up, I had to try it again.
You once had long hair, didn't you?
Oh yes, I did used to have long, beautiful Puerto Rican hair. I donated it to the American Cancer Society, yes. It just makes me really happy to know that I can make another human being happy, especially that girl who had the opportunity to open up the box and, you know, try on her new wig and, you know, get her brush stuck in it as well.
What do you think of New York City traffic?
There was this one time I actually came across this perfect, beautiful parking spot. And just like that, someone came right in and took it from me. I don't drive, I just like to complain.
Isn't New York City full of pests?
Oh yes. You know, there was this one time I actually thought I had bed bugs, but luckily I was just overreacting. They were just crabs. I didn't have to throw out my mattress or anything, you know? Just the asshole I shared it with.
Rumor has it you were a promiscuous young man.
Oh yeah, when I was younger, I was a slut. Man, I've had so many boyfriends. I think I've had more boyfriends than Pamela Anderson has had herpes outbreaks. And that's a lot.
Any STDs?
There was this one time I did have chlamydia. Drive me to work. When you're running late, you just don't have time to question your Uber driver's name.
At least you're married now.
Yeah, celebrating 4 years anniversary. I'm a real lucky guy, you know. I don't know why he still wants to be with me. I'd imagine, though, the only way to continue keeping him is I'm gonna probably have to start making him a Cosby cocktail every morning. Yeah, that'll do it. Does anyone around here know how to make that?
Ever worked an odd job?
Nothing really too odd, although one time I did in fact work for Ariana Grande's father. He taught me web design and graphic design, believe it or not, which was a skill that came in handy, especially when photoshopping his daughter's head onto a horse's body.
When did you decide to start a career in comedy?
I used to be a financial analyst, but you know, after almost 10 years of doing receivables and payables and analyzing and ledgers and month-end reports, I just thought, you know, what the am I doing here? So I quit, and now, you know, 10 years later, I still have no idea what the I'm doing.
You once almost joined the armed services. What happened?
When I was younger, I did enlist to join the Marines, which is crazy because I know nothing about the ocean.
Do people ever confuse you for a more well-known celebrity?
People confuse me for a celebrity all the time, you know, like Gollum, Nosferatu, Kalu.
Any bad habits?
Oh yeah, I have plenty. One of them is I bite my nails a lot. Just so hungry all the time. I hear biting your nails could give you tapeworms. Probably explains why I'm still so incredibly thin.
You used to smoke.
Oh yes, I used to smoke cigarettes. Yeah, a lot. But I haven't smoked a cigarette in at least 5 years. So, you know, I could use one right about now.
Your mother also battled her own addiction, didn't she?
Yeah, nothing too crazy, you know, just a little crack, which wasn't her fault, you know. She always asked her dealer for heroin. I guess they were just out. I'm actually proud to say my mother is going to be 23 years clean and sober, which sounds like a big deal, but it's really not that impressive when you think about the fact that I was born on the drugs she was using. So I've been clean and sober for 37 years, so kudos to me. The problem for me is now that my mother is clean and sober, she's just not fun anymore. You know, I remember being a child and we would play hide and seek. And I would go hide in a closet and she would spend 3.5 hours looking for me in a kitchen cabinet. When my mother was high, she was just a great sport about it, you know. There was a time, you know, in elementary school, I remember when parents used to help their children with their science fair projects. But my mother, she was my science fair project.
How's your grandmother?
She's no longer with us. A still sensitive subject for me, so thank you so much for bringing it up. Thank you.
My apologies.
I like to think that she's in a better place now, but honestly, what's better than being alive? Nothing.
You're still a moron. And what do you think about the Kardashians?
Enough with the Kardashians already, please. Thank you. I would say the real stars on reality TV are murdered victims. You see them on the news, on the investigation channel. I'm pretty sure if murder victims knew they were going to be on TV, they would have probably want to at least have been alive to watch it.
Where do you stand on a woman's right to choose?
Generally, I'm for a woman's right to choose, but I'm against specific women's right to choose. I once sent out my sister to rent a good, fun-loving movie, and she came back with Schindler's List.
What's one thing that you find strange or weird?
I think the weirdest thing is the English language, right? There are just so many words with letters just jammed in there that you would have never thought were in there. They're just so subtle.
What advice do you have for those interested in the business of television?
I would say to those who are looking to get into television, you know, just keep going. Go for it. Why not? You know, I used to be sitting where you were sitting until, you know, someone tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Hey, asshole, you're in my seat." Then I had to move.
Now self-destructing.
Thank you guys. I hope you enjoy that. I assure you that there were no smart speaker devices that were actually harmed in the making of that segment. But I did kill a ladybug. She just wouldn't stop asking me if polka dots made her look fat. They did. But stay tuned. Joining us next is our very special guest, running coach Nicole Rodriguez. And she's going to be sitting down with me for a little fun chat. This is Junkin' Jam Live.